Have you ever asked yourself why you're always exhausted, but the results are kind of off? You work, you read, you try, you reply to messages, attend endless meetings, but by the end of the week, you can't even remember what was actually important? You're doing everything right, but the results are small, and the exhaustion, massive. Then you see someone else doing 3 times less and getting 10 times more, and you think, what am I doing wrong? Today, I'll show you the answer. Simple, but powerful. It has changed businesses, lives, and it can change yours. It's the Pareto Principle, the 80-20 rule, and it might make you rethink half your life. What if 80% of your effort brings almost nothing, and 20% brings almost everything? One day, an Italian economist, Vilfredo Pareto, went out into his garden, and he noticed just 20% of the pea pods gave 80% of the entire harvest. He looked deeper and realized 80% of all land in Italy belonged to 20% of the people. And then voila! This rule started showing up everywhere. In business, in health, in relationships, in habits, in knowledge, in your life too. You read an entire book and remember one sentence, and that sentence changes your decisions. You attend dozens of meetings, but one of them leads to a major opportunity. You chat all day, but one single conversation actually supports you. You live, and only a few moments make you feel truly alive. That's how the world works, unevenly. It doesn't reward effort, it rewards impact. And here's what's important to understand. Not everything matters equally, and not everything that keeps you busy is productive. The Pareto Principle isn't a formula, it's a lens, a way to see what really gives you growth, joy, strength, and what's just taking up space. Open your closet. You already know. You wear the same 3 shirts. The other 30 just hang there, creating visual noise. Think about your day. How many tasks did you do just to check them off? How many meetings could you have skipped and nothing would have changed? Now think, what in the past month gave you the biggest result? The most inspiration? The most peace? Chances are it's the 20%. That's where you should look. That's where you should invest your energy. That's where you should return to. Want specifics? Here they are. 20% of clients generate 80% of a company's revenue. 20% of bugs cause 80% of crashes. 20% of your work tasks produce 80% of the results. 20% of your effort, 80% of your success. 20% of people in your life, 80% of your happiness. And the rest? Often habit, often fear, often just noise. Hard to accept? Yes, we're used to doing everything. We're afraid to miss something, afraid to let go, afraid to disappoint. But guess what? You're already missing out if you're always busy with the wrong things. Why does it work like this? Because life isn't linear. You don't get paid in fairness, you get paid in relevance. And relevance isn't always loud. Sometimes a quiet idea brings a revolution. Sometimes a small action triggers a chain reaction. Sometimes laziness is your intuition screaming, don't do this. It's not worth 8 hours of your life. The Pareto Principle teaches you to notice what matters, to stop spreading yourself thin, to stop trying to do it all, and instead choose. Focus. Here's how to start. Think back to the last month. What gave you the biggest result or joy? Found your 20%? Go deeper. Grow it. Amplify the outcome. Now look at your obligations. Which ones are you doing just because you have to, but nothing really changes if you drop them? Cut them down. Look at your relationships. Who gives you energy? And who quietly drains it while smiling? Stay close to those who give. Check again in a month. Your 20% might shift. What matters is staying aware. Remember, this isn't about laziness. It's about focus, about respect for your life, about choosing. You don't have to do everything. You can do what matters and let go of the rest, without guilt. As Pareto once said, people follow feelings and advantage, but love to believe they're driven by reason. So they always find a theory to explain their behavior. So yes, you can use the Pareto Principle as an excuse, or as a compass. You choose. The world will always demand everything from you, but you can choose to give only what matters, only what resonates, only what's truly important. Less but stronger. Not everything now, but intentionally, clearly. Your energy is not infinite, and neither is your life. If you want to feel alive, not just busy, start looking toward your real 20%. Share in the comments. Where do you see this principle in your life? What are you done carrying, and what are you ready to focus on? Maybe that's where your true growth begins. And if this video helped you send it to someone who's also trying to do it all, maybe it's time for them to stop too, and start with what matters. See you in the next video.